morning everybody, I'm Kaki, and today I would like to talk about the topic, the relationship between the obese children aged from 12 to 18 years old and the cardiovascular disease CVD in Hong Kong. And first, I would like to talk about the background information provided by the research article 1, and then I will talk about a literature review of article 2 to 5. And finally, I will end with a conclusion drawn by the 5 articles. Obesity is a global issue which raises the public awareness all over the world, including Hong Kong. However, there is little people concerned about the consequence of it. And in the first article, Coatel in 2008 had done a review on the research to assess the rates of obesity adolescents in Hong Kong. And in this research, there were 2,098 school children, and there were 4 criteria for the definitions of overweight and obesity. And the one Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, in 2000 is the most widely used by different countries. And from the results, we can see that the prevalence of the adolescent obesity is about 2.8% and to 4.8%, which is quite high. And the obesity rates in young boys is higher than in girls. And also the research found that the obesity rate is higher in 11 to 12 years old than in 16 to 18 years old. And this article has 3 strengths, including the sample size was quite large and is only focused in HK. And however, the response rate was low and the survey was not all-rounded. And it was known that the obesity have great relationship with the cardiovascular disease, but how can it related? It will be discussed in the second and third article. In the second and third articles, they are aimed to identify the risk factors for cardiovascular disorders and their relationship, and the methods is similar. And from the former research, we can see that not only the high rates of high blood pressure is related to the obesity children, but it also will increase with the BMI percentiles. And the obesity is prevalence in private education system and southeastern region in Brazil. And also the high blood pressure is progressive increase from the normal group to the obesity group. And also the lipid profile will changes remarkably among the students. And for the later one, it was found that the prevalence of cardiovascular risk factors is high in Brazil, and the number of risk factors increased with the ages increase. And in the research, there were 44% the school children have 2 to 3 risk factors, while 8.2% have 4 to 6 risk factors. And it was found that the obese school children has high levels of triglyceride and high HDL cholesterol levels and high risk of hypertension. And both of the literature 2 and 3 and the surveys was more comprehensive, and the findings were related to my topic. And however, the sample size was too small, and it only focused in one ethnic group. And for the 4th articles, it was aimed to find out the relationship between cardiovascular risk factors and the atherosclerosis children. And let's see the formation of the atherosclerosis.
Atherosclerosis is a disease in which fatty material is deposited on the wall of an artery. Normally, the walls of an artery are smooth, allowing blood to flow unimpeded. However, if damage occurs to its inner lining, fat, cholesterol, platelets, and other substances may accumulate at a damaged section of the arterial wall. Eventually, the tissue builds up and a plaque is formed, narrowing the lumen of the artery. Where the narrowing is severe, There is a risk that the vessel can become blocked completely if a thrombus forms in the diseased segment.
And finally, when the artery is totally blocked, the patient will die or without any surgery or other help. And from the research, it was found that those factors, such as BMI, the systolic and diastolic blood pressure, etc., is positively correlated to the extent of robotic lesions. And the strength of this article is that ESS scores was used to eliminate the other variations, and the findings were related to the topic. However, the sample size was small and the age range was too wide. And for the last article, it was aimed to assess the cardiovascular fitness among the 12 to 19 years old. And the research included the cross-sectional study and trial test. And the trial test includes these three stages. Throughout the test, the blood pressure, rating of the perceived exertion, and the heart rate was measured in each stages. And it was found that the maximum oxygen uptake of males was higher in male than females, and the uptake was lower in overweight group. However, there is no difference in ethnic group. And from the research, there's about 1/3 of the participants cannot meet the current standards for cardiovascular endurance. And for this article, it was not just slightly related because it's only focused on the cardiovascular levels, but not the cardiovascular disease. And the data was not updated. It only had the data from 1999 to 2002. And to conclude, the first 4 articles is very useful, but the last one can be only used for the supplementary information. And in my opinion, there is no detailed research was done in Hong Kong. So that I think an all-round survey and analysis is needed to raise the public awareness of the parents to control their weights of their children. And here is the references. And here comes the Q&A session. Is there any question? If no, then I'll end my presentation. Thank you.